Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I came back out to my normal dig site because I found some uranium glass last time. There were little pieces, and what it looked like it was going to be possibly two different, like a bowl and a cup. So I came back out today. I brought my black light with me, and I'm going to go ahead and start digging back into my normal site here in a little bit. It's like 90 degrees out here right now. It's cooling down to about 85. I'm about 7,000 feet elevation right now. I came on in, I picked up a little Subway sandwich out here right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and have on lunch. Like we got some wind coming on through. I just finished up my sandwich. I'm gonna keep the second half for later. Go ahead and throw that on my pack. Don't forget, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. High elevation, this heat, hydrate as much as you can, okay? I think I'm going to deviate from going and looking for that uranium glass today. Weather's actually pretty nice. I think I'm going to track into another area right up this ravine here where I found some actually really old bottles. I found one from the 1800s up in here. I think it was 1864, which is my oldest bottle I've ever found. So there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Back in here, I can't see where anybody's been in here from at least, I want to say, the 60s and 70s. That's the newest bottles that I've been finding out into this area. A little bit of exploring. If I don't find much, we're gonna come on back down and do a little bit of digging here. Let's please join me on this adventure. Let's have some fun. This is really no man's land out here. I found bottles scattered all over this mountain range. I haven't found too much on this mountain range for some reason, but this side I found bottles, I mean, all the way up in here. And the campsites that I'm finding are up into this area here where we get into a little bit more flat land and you can get a nice campsite. This is where I'll start getting into bottles, especially right up in these ravines, even these little small ravines like these ones here. Whatever reason, back in the 50s and older, people love just dumping their trash and bottles over the side into the ravine, thinking that they're going to disappear forever, you know? So right up in here is where I found a bunch of bottles. Let's see if the rain exposed any of them for us. There's some cans. And, oh yeah, broken glass right over there. Let's go ahead and hop up and let's see what we can find. Oh, there's a deer bed down site right here. See how the dirt has been disturbed? That's a deer bed down site right here. A couple cans, a couple more cans over there. You know what? I might just do a little bit of a dig right here. This is one of the good indications that I find how I find my bottles. I'll get into I just saw another can right over there. If I find cans, I equate that to bottles. So I'm always going to go ahead and just do a scrape when I find these cans. Let's do a little scrape right here. So this is a large pinon tree. P-I-N-O-N. Or we say it pinon. They're native to this area. I'm picking up on a couple of them right now. They produce a nut, kind of similar to a sunflower seed is what I try to explain it to people. They look like pine cones, right? But they have these little seeds in them. Okay, this is what we call the pinon seed right here. This is a delicacy out here. These trees only grow in this region, in this climate, and they only produce every 7 years. So living out here, the people that know this, you can make a lot of money pulling pinon. What you do when you get it back home is normally people will roast it and salt it. All right, I'm going to show you guys these ones. But what happens is these already went bad. They got wet. Once they get wet and the rain gets on them, they go bad. These ones are kind of dried out. But it's just like a kind of a sunflower seed. You got to crack it open. I already cracked these ones open right now, and they didn't have the nut in them. Okay, so these ones are just bad right now. Those may have produced last season. All right, So we might find a tree up in here that's actually producing some pinon. Give you guys an idea of how much it goes for. As people put it on your food, you eat it. You could eat it raw, but roasted and salted is my favorite. But if you're selling it right now, you could get about $30–40 a pound for pinon. Right now we're in prime pinon season, so I think I'm going to be keeping an eye. And if I find a good tree that's already dropping, all right, I'll go ahead and pick some up and I'll show you guys. So I'll take them on home, I'll roast them up, salt them for you guys, and teach you guys a little bit about pinon. It's native to this area, so I'm trying to show off some of the different stuff around here. A lot of the time I will find my cans and bottles in all the brush. I don't know if you can see all those cans down there. I was kind of on the bottom of a little hill where people would have thrown their trash down right in here. You gotta imagine, none of this vegetation was here back in the 50s, right? All this grew up afterwards. So a lot of the cans that I find, I'm picking up on some more right down in there, is in these bushes, right? So just pointing out a little tip trick, you know, if you're ever out here looking for cans and bottles, man, always checking the bushes. These are some older ones right here. Shoot. Oh, it's a knee-high Imperial beer. Found a bunch of those. We're back on the yucca over here, and I was going to show the fruit that's on it. So we got some serious fruit on here, and these are edible. They're actually very good. You can shake this one out. I hope you guys can see the crystals reflecting off there. You got a whole bunch of it all right through here. Got a little bit right here, up here. You get into some spots where almost the whole side of the mountain looks like that. Another little piece right here. In here. I really hope you guys can see on the camera how it's changing and shining. That guy's super shiny. Oh man, that one's cool. Man, that's got some crazy shine to it. Hope you guys can see it on the camera. Hey, there's an old, it would have been Pepsi Cola, right, back then? Yep, Pepsi Cola. That's an older one. Huh. This is an old, and I'm gonna say old cedar tree. This is an elder right here. You don't really see them get this big and this old. What I want to do is say this is the best firewood you could get out in this area, in my opinion. It's super dry, it flakes apart. If you can find some dry cedar wood, which most of the time you get a nasty rain coming down, it's going to hit one side. Sometimes the other side will stay dry, just as this is an example right here. This side hasn't got wet at all. This, go ahead and fluff it up. Perfect fire starter. The cedar is kind of a lifesaver out here in this area. It's the main thing that we use to start up fires. I just saw this post right here with wire on it hanging right here. This has been hanging on this tree for a good while. It's already strangling the tree out. Okay, we got wire all down through here. We got this all wired up too. Well, hell, I wonder what somebody was doing out here. My first impression was it was a deer hang right here, or you could butcher it and cut it up, but that's a little bit different. Oil drum, check that out. It's still got the cap lid on it, and it's all shot up. Everybody shot everything up out here back in the day, but that'd be kind of cool to have at the house, actually. Man, all these trees got knocked down. We got a ton of deadfall in here since the last time I was out here. Let's see if we could kind of traverse some of this stuff and get through. Get onto. Came across a deer trail coming through. You guys could pick up on it. Headed up in here. Ended up dropping the pack. I ran on up in there. Found some old cans. Found some old cans up there. No bottles. came on back down. To be honest with you guys, I couldn't find my backpack for just a second. So the tip trick of the day is I usually leave my pack, you know, in an open spot where I know where I'm coming back down and I can find. Something that I do is I always carry my red bandana. I usually tie that up on top, and it gives me a visual cue of finding my backpack again. You don't think you would lose it, but you start going up these ridges, and you'll start making some ground, and you think you're gonna pop right back down on it, and you're a freaking mile away. But yeah, tip trick of the day: try to put something a bright on top of your pack if you're gonna leave it, and come on back for it. Check this one out. I really hope you guys can see all those shiny parts is where it's glistening back from the sun. This whole area. Whoa, check that out. That's freaking awesome. I think what something that doesn't really get addressed out here is, sorry, a little out of breath. The Sandia Mountains are going to be over there, okay? There's volcanoes that are to the west side of the Sandias. This was at one point all underwater, and we have volcanic activity. So we find a ton of fossils out here. A ton. I mean, you're not gonna, I don't think you're gonna find like a T-Rex because most of it was oceanic. It was all underwater at one point. So you're gonna find a ton of shells. But formations like this are crazy to see, because how did that form? In my opinion, you will get impaled by these. And I'm always addressing, you know, why I'm always wearing my knee-high boots. These little bastards right here, that's a pretty big one actually. These things will just straight up impale you, and it's called a yucca cactus. Here's a better representation of the volcanic activity. We're getting more into volcanic rock right in here. Man, check these out. Some crazy formations, huh? Ooh, fresh water. Oh man, that's a lifesaver right there. That little puddle, that's a freaking lifesaver out here. Oh, look what I found. That's all fresh rainwater right there. Out here, that's life. Finding water out in the desert like this, that's life right there. Now when I say desert, you know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're up in the mountains. That's not the desert. This is the high desert, okay? The picture, the desert that everybody pictures in their mind, you know, is all sand hills, tumbleweeds flying through, freaking road runners, rattlesnakes, okay? That's all down the hill. That's at the bottom of this mountain. We got one mountain range here in the city. Desert, I'll do some videos of those ones here in a while. Heading out there, yeah, it's super hot, dry as can be. Finding water out there gets even more difficult. It gets almost impossible to find. But if you know what you're looking for, you can pick up on it. I just wanted to show a couple little examples of, if I was out here in dire need of water, I'm gonna be in these ravines and I'm gonna find this. I mean, this right here, holy crap, man, that's a lifesaver right there. And if I keep going up, we're almost at to the top of this mountain right here. We've been working this ravine all the way up, and I'll probably find some more water up in there. I would be definitely filling up my canteens and filtering this out, but this is fresh water. And actually, I might just go ahead and get some to drink here in a second. But we just got to a better vantage point up here, show you guys where we're going. This is a ravine we just walked up, went all the way to the top there. I skirted up over this mountain range. I'm going to try to drop down into that second ravine over here. But I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a view out here. Yeah, nice day out. This is probably the biggest tip trick of the day right now. Freaking spider webs, man. When you're walking through these trees, man, spider webs are going to get you all the time. Get yourself a little stick. And you start going through these trees, just go ahead and knock them down. Normally I'll use my walking stick, but of course I forgot it today. Yeah, it's an old can. Or can lid, I guess. Huh. Getting back into some old stuff here. But back to the old spiderweb whacker over here. Carry yourself a little stick in front of you. That is the biggest probably tip trick of the day that I'm gonna give to you guys today. Alright, I just found a piece of uranium glass. I brought my black light out with me. See how it's glowing? That's radioactive uranium glass right there. So I'm gonna be scraping. Alright, I found a couple more pieces of uranium glass. I tried to put it in a little dark spot with my black light like that, and that's how I kind of identify it. I thought I charged up the batteries for my GoPro. Apparently I didn't, so I think we're going to be calling this one a little bit short. But thank you guys for joining me on this adventure. Don't be afraid to get on out, get a little dirty, and have some fun.